Yeah, now Texas is following up with a bill that could force teachers to out students to parents. So basically what this is so this Texas law, Connie Burton, a Republican state senator from Fort Worth, Texas, filed the bill ahead of 2017 legislative session. It asserts that parents have the right to all records and information related to their child, from test scores to details of their physical and mental health and any general knowledge. Critics argue that if a child has confided in a teacher but not a parent, it is probably because they fear harmful repercussions at home. But the bill warns that educators who fail to comply face disciplinary action regardless of the child's wishes. So basically what they're saying is that teachers and administrative staff at schools have to inform parents of the child's sexual orientation, their gender identification, and stuff like that. And they lump it all together with this physical and mental health bullshit. Like, yes, like
any general knowledge in quotations.
Yeah, and any general knowledge. So like, yes, like parents should have a right to the mental and physical health of their child. You know, like you want to know if your child's sick, if they're struggling academically or whatever. You know, like yes, parents have a right to know that stuff. But
if they're being bullied because of their sexual orientation, maybe that's something to bring to the parents' attention.
Yeah, but that should come with the consent of the child. You know that.
Because they can find.
That's the thing. Because there's parents that want to send their children to conversion therapy. You know, so like the child doesn't want to tell their parents. So like, and even in the instance of them being bullied, like that's not a healthy thing to do.
Yeah, maybe dad will just tell them.
Yeah.
Put your big boy pants on, fight the kid, or you know. And
and
don't be gay. Don't be gay. You know, that's how many people are
beat
told that.
their children just because they're gay. You know, try and beat the gay out of them. And so it's ridiculous. So this.
Well, the thing is about that, real quick, is that we treat children as if they are property, and that the parents are, you know, they're dictators or whatever, versus treating them as sovereign humans.
Yeah.
Sovereign meaning like independent of their own mind. You know, they can make their own decisions. Kids are smart. Hell, half the kids I meet are smarter than most adults I meet.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people get dumber as they get older. If anything, they lose touch with who they are, what's going on around them and stuff like that. So the problem is that in our school systems in general, we don't treat at least whenever I was in school, wasn't treated as like a sovereign person. You know, just a student. Like you have these certain guidelines to fit into, and my mom was great, my parents were great, so I can't say that happened at home or anything, but I definitely kind of felt that pressure at school.
Yeah. No, I feel like, and school should be like, regardless if you like school or not, like, that's a place that you go and where you should feel safe, you know, like, you should feel...
A place for growth.
Yeah, a place for growth, a
exploration.
place for exploration, acceptance amongst peers, you know, and that's what the school should facilitate. But if they do something like this, then you're breaking that trust that students have for that.
So you can see why someone would say, because this Republican person that was pushing that, senator or whatever that was pushing the bill, she thinks she's doing the right thing, most likely. Whether she's doing the right thing or not, she thinks she's doing the right thing. And so you can see why people would jump on the bandwagon of that and saying, yeah, we need to disclose these things to parents. You know, any general knowledge that could be, you know, any private general knowledge, disclosed to the parents. I can see that point of view. Because when I first read that, I was like, oh, what's so bad about that, you know? But then you start going, and that's surface level thinking.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that just stay in that realm. You start digging into it a little bit more, like right here, like we're saying, is, you know, it's a place for growth, acceptance, exploration. Maybe, like you said, people. I didn't have a crappy childhood really. Like so, I felt like I can come home and talk to my mom about things, and there's a lot of people that I'm sure don't. So that was my surface level thinking there, kind of coming out. But You see a lot of that
Yeah.
in legislation. It's just it doesn't get deep enough.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. That's like the thing is like when you learn more about what's going on in politics, you got to think about it more. It's like, okay, well, what are the possible implications, like pros and cons of what will happen? You know, like, and you got to look at that with any legislation that's passed, you know, or trying to be passed. I wanted to read this, the last couple paragraphs. The state's Lieutenant Governor, Dan Patrick, last week announced that one of his top 10 priorities would be a law to force transgender people to use facilities comporting with their sex assigned at birth, which he termed a Woman's Privacy Act to ensure women and girls have privacy and safety in their restrooms, showers, and locker rooms. When the session begins in January, Texas lawmakers will also examine a proposal to ban local anti-discrimination protections not covered in state statutes, similar to part of a measure that was passed amid great controversy in North Carolina last March as a riposte to an ordinance in the city of Charlotte. So, what they're saying is they want to force transgender people to use a bathroom assigned with the sex assigned at birth. So if you were born a male and you're a trans woman, then you have to use the male restroom. But if you're born a woman and you're a trans male, it seems like they don't care about that. And it's like there's two sides of the coin. This is completely focused on trans women. So
A male that wants to be a woman.
Yeah.
A born male that identifies as a female.
Yes. So this is completely against trans women because there's my perception of it is men within our society are afraid of other men. This goes into being gay as well. So like they're afraid of men accepting a more feminine part of themselves, which is honestly just a part of being human. Mm-hmm. And you know, like, so liking another man is supposed to be something that women do. You know, you're supposed to like women are supposed to like men, and that's supposed to be their role. But it's like sexual orientation, like it crosses so many different ways, and you can't just pinpoint it into one thing. People are born to a certain way, and they like who they like, and the same thing with trans people being born the wrong gender. You know, like you just know, you know, and like this is specifically targeted at trans women because they used to be men, and it's like this whole argument against men, you know, it's this thing against men, and
yeah.
I don't know, so like, I don't know, like they don't seem to be scared of trans men, you know, because I'm not sure why, because that's not as scary. You're scared about.
Well, we have a very masculine dominant society.
Yeah.
For a very long time. It's starting to turn a little bit now. But yeah, so masculine dominant society, you have a lot of lawmakers that are 60 years old that are baby boomers, and
yeah.
They grew up in a time whenever homosexuality was definitely demonized. Mm-hmm. They had a certain format of what they thought a man was, and they had to stick into that idea, yeah. And they take that to politics and with them. But so I'd say that's why there's more of a bias against trans women. So a born male that identifies as a female, because it's not something that's easy for a straight male, myself included. Mm-hmm. I can't even fathom the idea of wanting to be a female. Mm-hmm. Only reason I understand it is because I've been lucky enough to be surrounded by some people in my life, different points in my life, mm-hmm. that were gay, or I've met transsexual people, plenty of them now. And that's the only reason I began to grasp the idea of it. Mm-hmm. But I can't even comprehend what it would be to want to be a female. And
Yeah.
so, and I feel like I'm a pretty open-minded person,
Mhm.
and I'm pretty accepting. But even at my own level, like, I mean, I have compassion towards them. It's not like I don't. I guess you know what I'm saying. Like, I just can't identify with wanting to be a female, and especially someone who's a male that's 60 years old plus. Not all of them. I've met plenty of 60-year-old men that are very kind people that would understand that.
Yeah.
But I've met a lot more that don't understand that.
Mhm.
Now, on the other end, a female wanting to be a male, a born female that identifies as a male.
Yeah.
I mean, first thing, men will condemn gay men, right? But they'll go on to watch lesbian porn, right? Like, it's just this. You're okay with the idea of a lesbian identifying, or like, I don't know what it.
Yeah,
It's hard to put in. It's hard to nail it down, but
Yeah.
it's
But
just.
it's whenever, because my wife and I talk about this, like when women want to act more masculine, you know, for some reason that's more acceptable, you know. I guess because women are coming into the man zone, you know, and it's like trying to be more manly, and which is ridiculous because like it shouldn't matter which end of the spectrum, you know, you are on. Like just accept people for who they are and where they're at, and
It's hard to comprehend what these people are. What makes you think you can pass laws to tell people that what bathroom they can go into, or
Yeah, I mean, I have a friend that's trans, and then there's this musician that's trans, and my wife and I have followed her story for a while now, and we've watched like tons of videos that she's created with other trans people, and they've told their stories.
there are plenty of trans women that you just
Yeah.
that they go to the bathroom and they just walk out, and you want to know a damn difference.
And what does it matter? We just want to pee and poop in private and just move on with the day. Like,
Right.
So they argue that it's for the protection of women because you don't want women to be raped. But that's like, if that was going to happen, people would have done that already. You know, so it's not going to happen. You know, people just want equal rights. You know, back in the day with black people, you know, they argued like, oh,
So
like,
true.
they're so violent and they'll rape your women and stuff like that. But nobody does that. People just want equal rights. Like you're people. They're people, and
They're disgusting.
Should
They
not
can't
be
even
black.
drink from the same fountain as you because they're
Yeah.
just a lesser human.
they're gonna have diseases.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Here we are, 2016, still talking about whether somebody's life is worth the same as yours or mine or whatever.